We had a burp. My bad. All right, gotta change that there. I don't know why it has that little thing up there. But there we go. My apologies, I had to do that. All right, what is good, everyone? It is your boy Ginger That Dude, and we are back on the Greatest 30 Chronicles. And yeah, we beat the first trial. I think the trial I was kind of understating is just the fact that I kind of said the wrong thing of the thing. And I was kind of thinking like, oh yeah, but this is right here. But I had the extra contradiction. That's on me, though. That's on me. There you go. Beautiful. Alright, so we can continue. We'll go into episode 2, which I probably said episode 2. But like, I can't tell sometimes. But I'm just saying part 2, part 3, part 4. It makes things simple to the point. Now, we have this person that's looking like Sherlock Holmes or whatever that thing with the little thing they used to be having. I don't know. Gotta figure out how it is though. But yeah. With the boat.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness.
Oh.
"You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Okay, so we see a dead snake. Okay, January 9th, 6:37 a.m. on board the steamship Mura.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset body.
I'm sorry, but anyone doing that, I'm sorry. You gotta see, like, the autopsy.
So, the victim was a Russian man, then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
What?
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are
are you? And what do you think you're doing here?
Da! No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you? And where have you come from?
Is that Sotero?
British
Hosonaga?
detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes. I presume.
So Sherlock Holmes, but Sherlock Holmes. Got it. See, I ain't gonna lie. This sucks though. Okay. My head is dropping. What's going on? I'm not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait. I can't move. Ah, what the? Why am I in handcuffs? And of course, you're just in a bad case no matter what happens. See, waking up now. Oh, it's her voice. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. Duh, we found you. And now you pay. Criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, Sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to be found out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Wait, what? Isn't that... Oh, it's a girl. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Musato? Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where? Where is he? Where's Cosma? You pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in sheep's pelt. I thought you were going to say sheep's clothing or wolf's clothing or something. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-san's body was discovered not long ago. Here in this very cabin. This was bolted shut from the inside. His body? See, that's what I'm telling about. That's why you shouldn't have joined his side, bro. Why did you join his side just to be hit in the same case scenario, bro? They keep on doing you dirty, bro. You just gotta just stop going out there trying to listen to what people say, bro. I'm just telling you. They don't want to be saved, bro. Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Cosma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. Okay, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Why would I do that? That makes no point of sense. Okay, let me explain 3 reasons why that's dumb. 1, that's my boy that helped me out in the first trial. That is dumb if I didn't out there and did that. Second off, I was with you. You should know that is kind of dumb if I go out there and not kill him. That makes no sense to do that. And 3, why would I hide in the wardrobe thing? That is a definite makes no sense situation. Especially when the greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes or Sherlock Sholmes, let me say that, can literally just do it like that. Like, come on. You gotta realize that UK, they got better technology in this case scenario. That makes no sense to do that. Why would I do that? That's so dumb, though. No. And I'm not saying that many no's. It's gonna just stop with that anyway. That makes no absolute sense. Cosma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Ha 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 ha. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here, though. Earlier, though. The way that the Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor, I thought I was gonna die. Yes, I still can't believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must even be less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Which is kind of fair, though. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock into Great Britain. But if you can find yourself in the cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. And you say that, and that's the reason I get called anyway. I should have just stayed home. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians won't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? Yeah, that's another thing. Why do we got to keep it a secret from her? She's going to get me cooked up, probably, looking at me. From our faithful judicial assistant, Mikatoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. Oh, I guess that is kind of fair. And the same thing I did with you with not trying to get you hit with that. Okay, that's fair, that's fair. It's best that only you and I know about this. And I'm about to get cooked up because of you. That's the funny thing. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about time the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there. I think it won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open a wardrobe for some reason? Then I'd be in for it. Stop worrying. I'll tell you what. Why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? What? And that's the main reason I get caught. It's because of you. Why? Did you just not go out there and just tell these people? I'd rather just take the punishment and be like, yeah, you're the one who did it. Because, like, bro, I'm already about to get caught slipping for murder for no reason. But I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. That is just terrible. We've only been at the seas for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to go on this adventure to England together. We leave you at the next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer. Da, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but murder my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. So all I could do is try to find out what really happened. Cosmo's death. What happened to Cosmo? How he died? He really has been killed, has he? Hasn't he? This is just a bad dream? These handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Cosmo's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. Okay, is there a way to, like, go up or something? Or something? Because, yeah, if this by inside, there's got to be a way you can go out that's, you know, up above or, like, on, like, maybe the other side or something? I don't know. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? Sadly, I don't have another explanation. This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Well, it's not me. I know I didn't do it. Like, bro, I was stuck in there. How the heck was I going to get out? Like, come on. Please, Sato-san, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. How can we say it's me, though? Like, it's undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there is no obvious external sign of injury then. That's true, yes. Incident. Can't anyone tell me what's exactly happening here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Cosma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please, whatever you say, you were in here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but he would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato arrived at his cabin door? I wonder. Or not, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. That's fair. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Sama, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything, and I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me too. Trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything else. Go ahead. Why are you even on this board? Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now. I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. I mean, come on, that would make no sense. Yes, of course. Exactly, like, he would always check if anything. Like, I'm outside, like, go in there. Oh my goodness, Kamzan invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Cosma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? Alright, he better talk. He better do his talk no jutsu. He better have this Naruto arc. He better have his Naruto arc. It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought of becoming a lawyer, though, dude. Like, that's not my thing. That's not my bag. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Yeah, but me being smuggled there is probably not the best idea. Why did you just say, like, if anything, you should have said, hey, if I and or Naruhodo-san beat this case, you were allowing me and him to go there. That would have been better for both of us. Why did you do that? Because then you could have a double, thing or something. I don't know, but come on. Well, no, definitely not. Come on. But on a personal level. Okay, what's on a personal level? If you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. What? That is, that's so dumb. I don't know why he did that. Kazuma-san he's always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. But something still bothered me a little. That look in his eyes, man. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san, I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. I saw him away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-san, I expect that he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. There you go. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, then fact. But it makes sense. I understand why he did that. I probably would do the same thing if I was getting. I wouldn't be bringing someone out of the stowaway. That's just me. If you're not the culprit, then tell me, what happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma-san, I thought he was going to say Kazuma-san or Kazuma-sama. But if I say Sama, I'm going to call him Kazuma-san. I'm just going to say that. So if y'all see me say that, I might do that. But Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable. Really, I do. But it's the truth. If I'd woken up then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. Or stuck in the predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is there any medicine that makes you, I don't know, like, not good or something? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't know what to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one else who could have possibly have done this. And that's fine, that's understandable. But like, let me like solve the case. I don't even have the handcuffs on if I have to. But like, let me solve the case. I need the case to know. Like, I need to cook. That's just gonna suck. Because look, it's that case. Is there any way else you can escape other from the door? Kazuma, I don't understand why. Why did this have to happen? Or is there like a door or something, like a way that you could like make it close and then like lock the thing in some other way? Like, you know how like Danganronpa be doing it? Like, I wonder if it's like that. But I don't know. Why did this have to happen? There you go. I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. But Cosmo was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Cosmo's life. And how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Oh, she said hi. Yeah! Thank you, really. What the? That was a Susato takedown. A Susato what? What martial art form is that? Well, I'm stuck now. I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry, prove it? Like, why didn't you just tell me ahead of time? You just had to throw me? Like, you didn't have to throw me. I didn't deserve this. I honestly did not deserve this. I didn't deserve this. They did me dirty, Chad. I'm not gonna lie, they did me dirty. Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. What evidence am I gonna give you? I was unconscious the entire time. But how am I supposed to? And literally, you put me upside down. I can't even get up now. Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. I see. She's expecting me to present some kind of exclusive evidence. Wait. Okay, this is the paper I wrote for the wardrobe. I really remember working really hard to make it. Okay, maybe I could just present this and be like, hey, look, but I wrote this. But I'll never forget how Cosmo reacted. Do you expect the Russian crew to be able to read that? He said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea, even if they couldn't read it. So he did anyway, and it worked out. I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opened the doors. Maybe that. Maybe the paper seal. I think it's time to believe me. So it's evidence that proves I'm not guilty of the crime.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. I would always put it into place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah, yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you held that sign on the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were really truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Hey, you ever thought about that? Yes, that's quite true. Exactly. Why would I do that? And how could I do that? That's just impossible. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Cosmo. I mean, he's not lying. I mean, how else could it be me? I mean, I guess I am the only one out there, but come on. Unless the killer said, you know what? I got you, buddy. Boom, and then just runs away. Like, but even then, that proves I'm not the killer. Come on now. Give us credit. Well, even if you're sprawled hopelessly on the floor, well, you kind of threw me on the floor. I can't do nothing about that. I'm kind of handcuffed. I can see why Cosmo-sama thought so highly of you. Well, I mean, you threw me on the floor. I mean, that doesn't really inspire me any confidence. Literally. Thank you, Suzato-san. Even though you kind of can pick me up, help me out. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Because I'm handcuffed. I can't really get out of nothing. Now, if I could actually move a little bit, I could probably do something, but I can't. Thank you. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Like, come on. Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. So what was the point of me throwing out this stupid evidence if y'all don't believe it's me? How else is that going to work out? What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. How am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? Please show me what evidence out there. People do this to me. Show me some sort of evidence that proves I went out there, had some conjuring trick, and put the sign back in position. Please tell me. Please. What does she think I am, a magician? Like, I'm not a dark magician. For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as in here as possible. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Sato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you, so make sure you don't do anything that might disturb the crime scene. I don't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right, well, anyway, I should start making an investigation here. Or I'll start investigating in here. Save everything I can. Cosmo, I swear, I will avenge your death. Why is he here? I actually have to move this. Can I hit? I'm trying to hit X the entire time. What the heck? This controller is dog water. This is, yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about in life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really, that sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Absolutely not. Oh, I thought she was going to say absolutely not, but she actually said yes. So, hey, I'll take it. Hey, thank you, I'll take it. Yes, in the interest of cultural research, obviously. I thought she was going to say research purposes, but I'll take that. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone's busy, that's all. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter? She's out of time. Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Oh yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard. Are you, Naruto-san? I'm sure you're careful to look around using left or right, aren't you? Yep. Now let's investigate all the corners of the cabin. Yes, let's do what? That. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Okay, at least okay. Controller. Oh my goodness. I have to like mash that L3 button just so it sits still. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail for Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruto-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no? I suppose not. Although, it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in that wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out there, here in the cabin. No, sadly not. But I understand her digression. Come on, please. I swear, this control's about to make me crash out. I have to like mash the L3 down and break it. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. Looks like as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! Can I please look at it? That's out of the question. What? Kazuma may have departed in this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. Susanoo, do you want the evidence to be found or not? If we don't get evidence, you know I could die, right? I'm gonna get claimed out there, and then guess what? I'm gonna be framed for a murder I didn't do. Do you want us to live or not? At this point in time, you might as well look at it. You might as well. But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? You dummy? Alright, I won't read it. You dummy? Like, what the heck? This girl don't want to win. She wants me to lose. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Exactly. She wants to lose. She doesn't want me to win. That's how I know she's stupid. Sadly, sorry. But like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Imagine you go out there, chat, you're in a murder case, and they out there trying to frame you. You want to go out there and you see evidence. That's probably the main evidence you need to save yourself. And they were like, yeah, no, hiya, just yeet you across the map. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here, bro? Wait, why am I here? Like, no, why am I here? Real talk, why am I here, bro? Why am I here? Why am I here, chat? Why am I here, bro? I just want to know why I'm here. I'm here just to suffer and get beat up the entire time. And just getting thrown around like a dead going blunt or something. And getting passed around like one. Like, come on now. I ain't gonna lie, if I find a way to get up there, I'm about to go get the evidence on the deck. There we go. Alright, did Cosmo write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he slept on the floor. I just want to see how it works, because, like, how does it fall down? Like, does he get hit and then he just hits the thing and he just starts flailing around or something? Like, what the heck? And we don't even know how he died. That's the main problem. I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Cosmo-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moment, was he? Okay, the question is, can he write in Russian? I know he can read a little bit of French, I think, and stuff. I don't know if he can write in Russian though. I can't tell, and I'm not going to question it. But come on. But yeah, crazy thing is she's literally 16. That is kind of crazy work. She is 16. So 16-year-old is out there just throwing me like a little. Okay, that's kind of crazy work. I just gotta take that L. My boy just gotta take that L. Naturally, he's gonna take that L. Let's just keep it. He's gonna take that L. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. Well, yeah, it's literally Russian. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. Just say it's Russian! It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? I have to, like... Wait. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes. I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. From the hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear. Being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. It definitely ain't. Well, it was less painful than the Susato takedown. Well, that is fair. There you go. The books have fallen over the shelves. Look, they've all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf had been ransacked, and everything moaned down at once. I wonder if Kazuo's Kazuma-sama's doing his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt that, or I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. Susato, I don't want to be the bearer of stupidity, but did we not establish at the moment, unless you find a way for me to do that little trick thing, you can't be saying it's me. I would have been bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books at the statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like seeing a mess. Oh, she said that. My bad. Let's get this, I guess. These are the rules of passage for a travel about the SS Bura. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all the passengers on the boat. Passengers must not keep weapons or dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are strictly forbidden as well. That's kind of crazy, but hey. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? How about none of the above? I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Fair point. Fair point. Oh, they're saying I don't have to do anything here. Alright. Alright. Now please grab the... I swear I'm about to... Oh my... Now please. Oh my goodness, please let me tip the thing. Okay, hold up. Is this on PS4 or PS5? Let me see. PS4, perfect. Alright, I'm switching this thing to PS... I'm switching this PS4 controller. This thing's trash. This thing is terrible. This PS5 controller is hot buns, bro. Thing is trash. Alright, there we go. Sorry, I had to switch my controller because this thing is going to make me crash out too much. Now we actually can go do the things that we would like to do rather than just fumble around like a dummy. There we go. Jeez, using this one now. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever that thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Natsuki fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Cosmo. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around him, would he? And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? And that's a sort of brick-like hue. Yes, right. It's the color of the brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere in the cabin. That's Cosmo-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he always has a saying. That's a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on his trip. I suppose that just shows how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. It's not on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Cosmo. No. That's my dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the place ended up on the floor. But Cosmo-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean... For Cosmo-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have guilt conscious and an achy stomach? Seki, the Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Cosmo. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? I mean, even though you stowed away on the ship, I did it for the right cause because he brought me here. But now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. Perhaps I should see what the special crew makes it seem crime. Excuse me. What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it is not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime? Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Night. Of course not. Now back to the corner of the room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there. Seemed a little flustered. When I went for help and the crewmen forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across it to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out the cabin, that's for sure. Okay, so there's no way to go in and out. So how does that work then exactly? It's no wonder everyone suspects me. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was kind of true. I would see why people suspect you. The only problem I couldn't see is that if I'm hiding here, like Cosmo can't go out there and use the thing and put it on it. I can't just put it on it because like I would have to close the door and then find a way to have a trick to close it. It makes sense people are gonna suspect me like that. This case kind of just what the heck. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading one once on a detective novel. The culprit used a needle thread and to draw a bolt across outside the door or outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself, but the door of this cabin and its frames are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Okay, we're doing the jokes. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna get thrown. Of course. I wasn't trying to do this, ma'am. Can I get up? Okay, it's this button. I was hitting that button multiple times, it didn't work. Alright. Oh, there we go. See, that's why I couldn't see the crap. The thing is blocking my view. I can't see it. Okay, I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, let's find out later if that's what it is. Looks like it must be connected to the door next cabin. Yes, it would appear so, too. You're right. But if it's the purpose of allowing fresh air in the room, surely it's connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough or something like that? I suppose. Maybe that's it. Who the heck is that? That man just... Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I do the same thing. I'd give him that look like, bro, who are you? Why are you here? He literally just instantly came out there, doing the hands like these, like he's just gonna go close to him. Like you know how Patrick does the little look at look thing when he's trying to get SpongeBob. Like nah, that was crazy work though. But he wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I could tell, looked like he might be European. Oh, how did he? You noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here. He just looks suspicious. And tall, suspiciously tall. That is fair, he is suspiciously tall. Now hold a sign. Don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Cosmo's desk, or is he playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press X on people when they're in the crosses, you can converse with them. That's what I did with the man over there. Alright then, get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. I shall examine this man that's right here just looking at, I don't know what thing he's looking at. I can't tell what he's doing. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? I'm talking to you. Shh. This is a critical point in my investigation. What? What is this man talking about, man? Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Yeah, man's really told me to shush. Greetings! I hope I haven't kept it. Bro, what the heck are you doing? See, you don't know what you want to do. You're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, give me a second. Shut up, don't talk to me. Now I'll talk to you. Like, bro, no, make up your mind. What exactly were you doing on Cosmo's desk just now? Investigating for research purposes. Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry, what do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh, yes. Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan. I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery in, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now you travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. Yeah, this man's smoking on the weed. Ayo, tell me, give me that smoke back you're smoking on, so I can take that away from you. I think you might not want to be here, buddy. And when the beribbened occupants of this very cabin discover your identity, you ended his life too. No, I didn't do none of the following. The only thing you got right was the deduction part about the literally me just being hit with some nonsense. That's the only case you got. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Well, you need to stop smoking and just stop using them eyes. Some eyes need to be good to go back home. I ain't gonna lie to you. Them eyes ain't it for you. Just to be clear, you're talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? Okay, then, casual question. Do you have a name for this Russian assassin? Do you have a name for him? If I mean, I'm just asking just to know. I mean, if you don't know his name, how are you gonna say it's me, bro? Like, yeah, tell me your name. Tell me what the name may be. I don't even see one person who fits the bill. Like, I'm not even a Russian guy. So it's true. It was you who did this to Cosmo-sama. Oh, brother. Who else? Okay, look. Why would I do that? I have no purpose of doing that. Susato, can you please have common sense? We just talked about it. I can't go. Only way I can go is in there. And that's it. And I understand that's probably the main one it could be. But come on, make it make sense. What? And you're planning a revolution too. Oh my. Are you really believing this crap that he's saying? He's just spewing crap. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen. There's no way oh my goodness. I didn't do nothing. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. I agree. This is absolutely ridiculous. I would literally be just sitting there like, really? How could you do it? It wasn't me, you dum-dum. For pity's sakes, open your eyes. I am not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came in your head. But was I not right? Whilst venturing towards a foreign climes, you did find yourself in a most troubling predicament, did you not? Do you not? That's the only thing that you got that's true. Well, yes, maybe. There you have it. You see? What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of the murder. So I'm not really sure you could call it a deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation in trifles. You see, I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies. How remiss of me. I'm none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women over the world. Then, inedible, Sherlock Sholmes! I'm leaving. Y'all have a good day. That's all, folks. That's all. Alright, but now, come on now, Sherlock Sholmes. How are you this dumb, bro? Come on now, think about it, brother. Think about it. So, it's really you? The actual Sherlock Sholmes? The very same, the inimitable, actual Sherlock Sholmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san. Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him, except me. What planet have I been living on then? You must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Okay, can we talk about Cosmo's death? We need to know about it a little bit more. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in its most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. I see. In other words, I'm at ease now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin open. And I concealed myself among their number, getting entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great Detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really, two facts, you say? Talk about two facts, I guess. Mr. Sholmes, tell us please, what two facts were apparent to you when you came into the cabin this morning? Very odd. Yes, but first, let's be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance, my bad. Momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, preventing escape of the culprit out of the question. That seems fair, sadly. Number two, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Let me tell you about your second fact. Your second fact is kind of cap. Because he wasn't Russian. I mean, don't get me wrong, though. He does. I think he can speak Russian or understands Russian. Wait, that makes absolutely no sense. Does he? I don't even think he knows Russian. Only thing I know he knows about French and Japan. I don't think he knows about dago Russian. Not that we know of. And killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian? Served a dying message left before the victim on the floor. This is a Russian word for wardrobe. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that he would write that. It would have to be the killer that wrote that crap. I'm sorry. I think the killer wrote that crap. Because it means wardrobe? Bro, I don't think the daggone victim would let me be on the cost on that one. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left the dying message in Russian? I don't know. I think he knows Russian. In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling in their head. This young man, Russian. I don't think he's really Russian or even speaks Russian. Kazuma was Russian? Was he? Initially, I considered Garderob maybe the name of the killer. A certain Robert Garden, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside these wardrobes, there at least. But if it came down to me trying to find out the actual evidence to an actual book, this girl just hi-yas and throws me across the map. Makes sense. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so. I found you, the renowned revolution. Oh my goodness! I'm about to crash out. Let's reread that again. Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. Indeed we are. But why would we kill each other is the question. And if my memory serves, that outfit is traditionally dressed of the Russian people. Do you think the outfit that Cosmo wore was Russian? Okay, you don't even know Japan culture. That's even the worst. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. And I had no idea that a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken out when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Norhoda? Oh, yes, thank you. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that... yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining the train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian? Can we talk about your deduction from before? I think that you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other detail that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part? Oh yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this warnings paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary Valin Bolshevik fleed Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port called Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. He's not Russian, but go ahead. Since when was Cosmo Russia Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded that he was Russian because of what Cosmo wrote on the floor. And the thing about it is, how do you not know it was like someone not trying to frame it for him? It was a simple act of reasoning to realize the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered and revealed. Yes, you. Valin Bolshevik. No. How could it be me? And plus, that's not my name. I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face! Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And might I add, your name doesn't not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Because I am a stowaway. I'm in the crime for that. And only that. Everything else is nothing but cap. Oh, that's kind of bars actually. Wait a minute. Okay, well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Oh yes, the journalist. Oh, okay, this is terrible. I'm yawning for no daggone reason. Some daggone talking, I guess. Alright, whatever. Give me a second. Oh yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particles, particular in the articles. There you go. I said articles. I need to stop doing this. That's why I'm taking days off of this thing. I'm taking days off of this thing because I'm saying the wrong thing. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There could be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? What's so quite clearly stated here in this article here. Don't tell me you don't read, my boy. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn regions of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself. It's a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all of this in interest within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. And you may find the article of the back page of it as well. On the back, cast your eyes over it sometime. Maybe interpret. Okay, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that. Wait a minute. Who is this? Who is this? This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruto-san? Well, no. I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about the beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She's very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, don't you? I don't know. I can't make sense of any of this. I'm glad you've noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of the young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. Okay. She's of course the talented young Nikolina Pavola. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume which she was found missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. I will agree with that. Salason's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of Russia fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruto. Let's see this one. I'm afraid I can't. Okay. Evidence says. Okay. The pair of you plundering is a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of this newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, Revolutionary Violin Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. It's told us that before. It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale. Oh my goodness, he is fearsome. Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? The solution is obvious, of course. If he despises his beard to that degree, he only needs to shave it off. I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Sholmes. Got that. These got this, and they got everything else. Alright. Anything else to worry about? Alright, let me see. Let me see. There we go. Hold up. These must be the remnants of the glue you used to stick the paper with the wardrobe. That's right. It was pulverized rice. Pulverized rice? Yeah, I pulverized some of the rice for my evening meal, even though it broke my heart. Broke your heart? What do you mean? Remember, I'm a stowaway on this ship. All I had to eat was Cosmo's leftovers. Even a couple of grains of rice could have meant the difference between life or death. Oh my, it must have been awful for you, Naruto-san. But I have some glue with me as well. It happens. You're welcome to use this in the evening. Oh, thank you very much. You drew the characters for this paper seal, didn't you, Naruto-san? They're such bold, vivid strokes you made. You're looking at a man who came aboard inside a trunk. Those brush strokes needed to make a statement. You're not lying. He's not lying. If they found me in that wardrobe, those Russians would have hurled me into a freezing cold ocean, and I'm surprised they didn't do it now. I'm sure none of the crewmen would have done anything like that. You don't think that other guy would literally grab my neck, choke me out, and yeet me across the water? You have no idea what these people would do to me. Well, I'm not so sure. They would have forced you to wash dishes in the galley until you were on death's door or something like that. Wash dishes until I was on death's door. That's a lot of dishes. But I mean, I still think he would have still bodied me though. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to glance at the article. Maybe there's a picture or two. The Great Detective. So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German. Herlock, was it? No. I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Holmes. You can read about all my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and articles, and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England specially. Ah yes, here it is, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So you're the protagonist in this series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you started to think that you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. That wouldn't be Dr. John H. Wilson, would it? Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of the cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this bit seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in the subjects. A fervent glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Makes sense. Who just texted me? Sorry, someone just texted me. Sorry, someone just texted me. Hey, never would. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows of the skin. All these things are detailed. Right. And the trained logical or logician. Logician? Is it like logician? I'm just gonna say the trained logician, okay. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he look at me in the eyes and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and deduction and fame. Sorry, Adion. That is what makes me the one and only, Sherlock Holmes. We're investigating. Before we start talking, you were examining Cosmo's desk, weren't you? Cosmo? Oh yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaging in penning some text. London Diary. Cosmo was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. It's something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it yourself already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Thank you. Okay, now can you tell this girl that I shouldn't be in the wrong for looking at the thing just to see what was going on? Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a suicidal takedown is. You're not gonna do that on him? Sato-san? Aren't you gonna throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Exactly, I agree. That is some nonsense. She won't do it to the detective, but she'll definitely do it to you. Crazy work. Anyways, to return to the matter at hand, namely, this diary belongs to the victim. Indeed. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, and as if the other was quite short. Tell me, what is the nature of writing? Pray, be precise as to detail. Oh, I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy. A smattering. Sayonara, Banzai, Mikido. Nado nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated little characters, of which I can read precisely none. Ha 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 ha. Oh, you laughing? That man laughing. So, what was all that showing off before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here in the Cosmo-sama's diary consists of just two short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grille. Speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard of that expression before. The ventilator grille, you say? The man was presumably referring... Yeah, that. To the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. So, like, could she have done something with that? The only thing is, I don't know, can a person fit in there? That's the question. I don't know if a girl can fit in there or not, or a guy can fit in there. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Cause it's diary, okay. Alright, let's see. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider, for the time being at least. Do you have somewhere to go? I'm about to give me some water or something. Y'all can say, I'm about to give me some water. Wait, please don't fall down the entire time. Alright, I'm back. As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long. Seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, with the ventilator connects to. Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence, the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these... After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No, there's no point in trying to turn it around into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said only moments ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal. You know. Not really. So what? What were you looking up at these for? Some great detective you are. Well, anyways, that was then, and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Neuroticon, what are you standing there for, You must go investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can... What the heck? After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? But every time when I do something, you throw me! What do you want me to do, woman? Dang! You're just gonna roll over and accept your fate? As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I'm not gonna lie, at that point, you can't date it, bro. You gotta let it go. I think we still have some investigation to finish in here first, don't we? Let's cross-examine what we can about this cabin while we get a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there's still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this and bring the real culprit to justice. Is something wrong, Neuroticon? No, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help but feel like I've seen it before. Yeah, that's Hosonaga-san. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes, what can I do for you? Hey, the Chad himself, Hosonaga's here. I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Yeah, exactly. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board the ship. Let me guess, the third case will be us going to see the queen dies, and then we're the case of it. Like, come on now. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Hold on, let me just see something real quick. Anything else I need to worry about? Just want to make sure I'm good. The ink, all that stuff. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nothing here. Good to know. Do I need to click that vent? Make sure my vent's good. All right. All right. Let's talk. What was your? Okay. Before we go to the second part, let me do the first thing. So, what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Ozagi-san's bodyguard. It was the Minister of Justice, Jigoku, who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Ozagi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even be possible? A possibility? I'm not so sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should prepare for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Osaka-san's a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment. Usagi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all I can do to help now, just say the word. Yeah, bro, I know you had your little bad moment, but can you help me investigate? We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not. We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed as risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin's door, stormy-looking seamen would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with? Do you think? Need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had saw a reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I can to persuade the captain to allow it. Really. I'd lay my life on it if I had to. But I don't see how... Okay, let me just save this case. There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you try to persuade me in your innocence, Naruto-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had was in your possession. Evidence. It's the same as when you were in the court. You must have done it so many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hasanaga could use. So evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate next door, is it? Alright. Yes, I think I might know what we could use. Can I show you this newspaper, Inspector? I'm sorry, but I can't read Russian very well. Oh no, that's alright. I know what it says. So you just wanted to point out your university level linguistic talents, is that it? I'm sorry? Nothing like me with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you were trying to say? Sorry, forget I mentioned it. Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe doors this morning, wasn't it? Isn't it? That's right. To try and stop the cabinet steward opening it up and discovering me. Wouldn't it have been better to write in English if you didn't know Russian? Maybe, but open a paper amulets like this are a part of our culture, Inspector. And I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside. It isn't easy being a stowaway, is it? Indeed, it's not. Have you seen this photograph yet, Inspector? That paper's trash. Oh dear, are you alright, Inspector? Yes, sorry. I'm fine. I was hoping to hide my upset with a fit of coughing and spluttering. I'm usually very good at it, but trying to stifle my feelings seems to have stifled my cough this time. It's all so sad. Asagi-san was such a promising young man. The Empire had such high hopes for him. I had so high hopes for him, even though I'm just a detective. We're all gonna miss you, Kazuma. Favor, okay. Oh my goodness, same thing. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me the ventilator, is it? You're very astute. Or astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right, so if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what that speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to trust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promised you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asagi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruto-san. Let's move and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright. Thank you, good sir. You're a good gentleman. January 9th, 7:48 a.m. It says Bureau, the first class cabin passageway. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Ooh, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. This is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. But look over there. There's another crewman. Keep a watch. He looks enormous, even if he was sitting down. The door next to him leads to a second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose. Like people in handcuffs. Now, Hoda-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to a ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Cosmo's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. What's that? Ah, a trap for catching mouse or mice. Is that what kind of is that cheese or what kind of cheese is that? That's like some gold type of cheese. Yes, we have plenty of those back in Japan. Although they seem to be some lump of chalk or something that's made. Yeah. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what they call cheese. It's made of milk and cows. Yeah, but like, bro, that thing is too big to be called cheese. Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. Yeah, cheese is pretty good though. Just probably not on rat traps. You can't eat it, Naruto-san. The trap will snap on your fingers. Really? But suppose you're right. You really trying to eat some daggone trap cheese? Oh, brother. You weren't actually gonna try it where you asked where if he did, I ain't gonna lie, I would have just left the game right then and there. If he did, I was gonna say, bro, get me out this game. All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Cosmos leftovers. You know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you a little later. Yeah, you need to give something. Okay, what's this? First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-sama's cabin. Sorry? Your accommodations is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin's steerage is number 539, by the way. 500. How many cabins are there? Alright, what's in here? What do you think this is? It's very pleasing shape. That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says press only in times of emergency. It looks as if it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh, this is what I have to. What are you doing? You must not touch it. This is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop. The ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make sure it doesn't affect anyone else. I mean, she's not lying. Like, bro, why you going out there to hit that thing is probably not the best solution. It probably isn't. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one with the ventilator next to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe who's ever in this cabin can help solve the mystery. Let's ask. Oh, he started like, hey, I don't like your tone, buddy. Excuse me, we need to get inside this cabin here. The sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out. That's what I wrote on the sign. He put it over the wardrobe doors. I mean, you're not lying. It says keep out. He said keep out as well. He said keep out as well. Although this man's version is definitely more effective. It doesn't look like he's going to let us pass. And that's a problem. Alright, bet then. We'll look around then. Hey, we'll take this then. That's a huge book on the top of the table there. There's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such a beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. I thought you might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruto-san, even to a sailor. Fair point. Anyway, last night's log was almost mostly blank. Presumably that means that there's nothing to report. This looks like the plan of the SS Bureau. Shows every deck. Look, the Bureau is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skin hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually. But how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruto-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan? Yeah. Yes, they're not metal, but they're enormous lumps of earth. Many times larger than a ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. Hurry, let me talk to you, sir. Let me talk to you. Excuse me, but can I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm sorry to trouble you, but could I ask you something? You little third-class ladies maid. Wow, that's kind of tough. Oh, we seem to have caught up this sailor on a bad day, Sato-san. I'm not a sailor. My mother gave me my name. I am a senior crewman, Biff Stroganoff. Ooh, the best thing we just had to do was avoid. I think. Mr. Stroganoff. About this first-class area. Here we are in finest part of Bureau's steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. This is why I am always guarding this place. Okay, so can I ask a question then? Gosh, that's amazing, but let me ask a question now. That person over there is important, right? So, do you know what? Okay, can I ask a question then? Do you not think that person over there could have done it? You speak crap, now I got to run hands, and then he just beats the crap out of me. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean, but Stroganoff is not an animal. Thank you for not trying to throw me around like a crazy animal. I appreciate that. Thank you. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Sagi's currently occupied? Susatos? Did you understand that? It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes or no. I'm assuming that it is. I'm assuming that da means yes. Genius. It's not permitted to visit other people's cabin without invitation. Well, it sounded like there's someone in next door at cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Can I ask you about last night? Let me ask you about last night. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Yes, or duh, all the time. So criminals like you can't come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is not about Student Boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you not notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Oh no, he's mad or something? Status, did you understand that? It was clearly a... No. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. And you didn't hear anything strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way, sir? You're looking away. I said, no! Sorry, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Hey, yo, can you do me a favor? What about this woman? Can you tell me about her? I might present her, actually. Actually, wait, hold that thought. If I promise you, if I have a way to present something, I might ask you about that. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Sagi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylett. He's a very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman. Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with the murder of Student Boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylett is an authentic Western gentleman. And I'm a Japanese man. Like, what in this game? Like, what do you mean? Such a man would have no interest in a lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylett came abroad? That is not your business. So, you're captain. Okay, so what if he's the killer? Then guess what? People think he's actually the murderer. Even though, right now, they think I'm the murderer right now. But that's not the point, though. Couldn't think of it. Even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been at Cosmo's cabin the entire time, I've never once... I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since the gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. Dude, just say yes and move on. But get out of here. Like, come on now. That's enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It's time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead is to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on the top of the mountain, or else in English, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Give me here. Give me in here. Yes, sir. I need it. Yeah, I already read that. We need to go in here. Thank you. Knock, knock. There we go. We good. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. They still went in to help us with our inquiries. How annoying. I heard that. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. I'm about to break the door down. I thought you were in there. This man just said that. I'm like that. I'm getting in there. Like, bro, I thought you were in there. Mr. Sholmes. I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in the kicking the doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch the muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to be thinking about stress relief. Wait, what? Wait, you didn't have your doors locked. Why? Okay, January 9th. This is Bureau, first class, cabin number 2. Who are you? A Western gentleman. This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you, now! Please, excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylette, I believe. Yes, that's me. Who you are? I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. Now get your sorry tail out of my room, please. I have no business with you. I am the great detective among the great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man uses the magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be able to assume to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid! How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, not traveling inside one's trunks. I mean, to be fair, this will happen to this guy. That's why he's in cuffs. Don't look at me! Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Donhunter? Yes, the case just shook. Leave, no, otherwise I'll call the steward. I'm like, hey, yo, bro, question though. Why'd you think move though? Why'd you think move? So this is Cosmo's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylette. There's no doubt about it. The strange Russian man was hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some more clues before that. Both soon. Why are you here? Why is he there? Why is he there? He's there for no reason. Alright, there we go. What do you think you're doing? Ah! This is my cabin! Get out! Could we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No! What a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't seem to be anything more we can do. I agree. There's someone else who may can help. Perhaps that great detective that could get us somewhere with Mr. Rose. What? Hey, yo, let me talk to you. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Oh, I mean, you said Mr. Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh, and it seems that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on. For once. Well, twice, but technically once, I don't know. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylett, is clearly trying to hide something. Do you know what the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. I think that's said for everyone, I think. Though it should be pointed out that such a method are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. Well then, what are you about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective, greatly admired, great deduction to the case. Sorry, I'm yawning too much. Sorry, I'm probably yawning too much. Chat, my bad. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those. I don't really think either of those should be occurring to you or in anyone. I thought he was saying it. I thought the guy was saying it. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting. But I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It's biased the judgment. Shh. I must have complete silence. Well, what are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. The whole explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylett, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. I mean, he could be one. Okay, yeah. Using those shares, you're about to end the existence of someone most dear. I mean, to be fair, we can't tell, but like, I don't think he killed Cosmo that way, unless we find out evidence of something. Are you not? Huh. And number two, the other conclusion I've drawn. You are, at this very moment, no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with the nervous tension as you realize you're about to be discovered. Does it not? Oh no, how to sign? I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction. Nothing could deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he could deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What? An epical twaddle. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times. The adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. And now, I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the colors have strayed from Mr. Roylett's face. It's like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How could you? How could I possibly know such things you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I accordingly invite you upon a journey of logical discoveries. Let us forward the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. The game's of fun. Old man's identity. So the dubious looking Russian, Mr. Roylett, Obviously, what catches the eyes of the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Then we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring right in the face. I'm gonna put it on Thursday just in case I didn't have the right stuff. Alright, there we go. Just make sure. You're on the verge of using those shears to cut away the copious beard, you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of your magnificent beard, Mr. Roylett? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front page article. Okay, I guess you're moving on with it. I mean, I guess that's fair to look like something else. Oh yeah, because they do have some little paper over there, so I can see that. In regards, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front page article. Which is, would appear, you have also read, Mr. Roylett. I'm sure it needs no necessary, I will say no necessary clarification. Okay, I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, "Revolutionary violent Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai." As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are a fearsome Russian revolutionary yourself, Violin Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. That's... Okay. Now what's the other one? While we do this, can't I just go out there and look at the thing of like, look at the other piece of it and be like, oh, okay, he got this stuff. Like, look, let me go out there and solve my case. Like, this just feels terrible. Now, as for my second conclusion, look at this man out here trying to solve a case. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylett. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah, and I assure you, the eyes speak so much eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies within the fervent glance falls. The proof of your crime sits beyond our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse! What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, but slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd! And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in this traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to life of crime, are we? You careless Cope de betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your fervent glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the page of this newspaper, for there is another most stimulating article. If we turn for the fleeing revolutionary to the back page to see the prince, the girl. Oh, you're talking the girl. Oh, he out there spending low key. I ain't gonna lie, I'd low key agree most likely. If it was, I ain't gonna lie, he gotta spend though. the renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet, disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. I mean, we heard a girl cry. We heard a girl screaming. So either that person is a girl, or that person in there. This concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma, Elemetsky. Set aside. That wasn't one of the greatest deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, can you come here for a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deduction. Would you mind? No, go on. Well, to start with, there's a newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Oh yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at that time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness, to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Rowlett does look more like this man than you do. That is fair. That is fair enough. I wish I could see what my character is. But yeah. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. Here's the thing, I could somewhat push that point with it, but like, it's either it has to be he's a girl or has a girl-like voice, or you know, she's kidnapped. I'll let that rock. But like, we gotta figure something out. Oh, my bad. At first glance, the case would appear to be too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child in that case, even if you pushed it really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is 5 years old. Child, is he? You mean you don't know? The young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? I can't read that crap. Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out of that case. Some years ago, I've read something pertinent, I believe. A trope of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain liveliness in their body. Vinegar. For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity in self to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. There you go. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Hoda, something occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his observations are, well, magical. His eyes cuts the heart of the matter almost instantly. Here's how I feel. I feel like he's right about most of this stuff. It's just the way he says it might not be the complete exact way we want it to be. Like, he makes sense, right? But like, his case it might not be it. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seem a little off. I agree. Your idea may be a little off itself, Susanoo. It's just one or two key words in his deduction that seems to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some keywords in his deductions. Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Mr. Sholmes' great deductions. Precisely that thought that I was going with my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. Ah, ha, 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 ha. It's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrist. My wrist? What the? Oh, where my hand? Where are your handcuffs? Yeah, where my handcuffs go? Huh? How did? I thought they may be hindering your abilities to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. This guy's like that. He's like that. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. I'm playing more rivals later anyway. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrist when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular? I don't know. So the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roulette, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. Let's get this out of the way. Let's cook. Let's cook. Let's cook. Let me cook a little bit. Is an enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring right at us in the face. You are on the verge of using those shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. I'm not sure. Would he really use shears like that to cut off a beard? Yeah, I don't think he'd use it to cut. I don't even think he'd use a pair of scissors to cut that beard. I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. It doesn't seem to be sounding right with Mr. Roulette either, which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's try and switch a key word here. So that might matter. But how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roulette. I wonder if there's something with the beard that he tends to use those shears on. Exactly. If we manage to find something that fits the word sense of deduction, it'd be better. Then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruto-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even switch around in the last sentence. Let's not go Mr. Roulette really try to use those more her shears for. Can I, please? Oh! What's this? It looks like the cassette of the studying golden locks. No. The color's not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roulette's head? And how's this growing out of underneath his thick black hair? Yes, that's true. It's stunningly beautiful and stunning surprise. Something's definitely not right here.
Yes!
My turn. Oh, he with the my turn. Gotcha. You're on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intended to expose. Got him. We had to style it real quick. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all. You're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why do you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is an article about revolutionary. Okay, let's cut that out. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise, Naruto-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts with Mr. Jones. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. It's strictly business, not strictly Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Jones' introduction, shall we? The evidence they picked out doesn't fit the facts we know now. No, that's not true, given that Mr. Roulette is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it's because the abduction as a whole has taken a whole different direction now. Yes, let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts we can understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in this situation recently. Alright, I'll do my best.
Yes!
My turn to cook! Let me talk to you real quick. My turn. The evidence that reveals true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right. You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novich Ballet Prima's ballerina, Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Dang, I'm surprised that didn't cut. That thing didn't cut that. That's gonna work. You might as well go ahead. Yeah, might as well go ahead, baby girl. Yeah, might as well. You're right. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, do not tell anyone. There you go, a ballerina on the run. That one's soft. Now let's go to topic 2. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. That is true. The answer we seek lies where the fervent glaze falls. The proof of your crimes sit before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. Mm-hmm. This woman's a ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. So clearly she can't be inside the travel case as well. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what's the crime the young woman apparently was committing? I can see I'm going to have to step it up and fix that with the great detective mistake again. You seem to look pleased, Naruto-san. Do you like the idea of the chance of to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Stop it! Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman's up to. Wow, look at this dazzling tiara. I've never seen anything like it. Are those real diamonds, do you think? Oh, Naruto-san, try it out. Turn it on. What, me? Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on? Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful. Why does the tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently. Okay, let's just go ahead and hit triangle.
Yes!
There you go. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Wow. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? There you go. And you're wearing one right now. Hey. Indeed. It would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here. Bro, can you stop doing that? I didn't hit R2 or that. How's R2 and R1 the same button? Come on. Okay, there you go. I stretched my leg around my legs. Not having a good day. I think I should reread it again just in case. Excuse me. Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiaras pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it is an item worthy of 20,000 rubles. Which makes sense. There you go, perfect. Actually, it could be like that. It could be like that. Actually, it could be like that. We cooking though. We cooking though, chat. We cooking. Cooking. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. There you go, yep. Wait, so why did the suitcase do that though? That thing's kind of weird though. I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone, and I need money. That's fair, that's fair. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how you would say, an Earl of Fushia. It belongs to me. The girl's only 15 years old. She's a runaway all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There's no point in hiding it now. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? Yep, come here. You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. Reasonable to conclude, therefore, there exists some reason why you made it to be closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited up the light of crime, are we? Your careless coup de will betrays you. Once again, we all need only follow your perfect glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelves. He's completely changed tack with his deduction now. Like Mr. Schultz adapted his logic to change the circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why is he certainly brought back the bookshelves and all this? It's a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem like that's the reason. That's the reason why the young woman doesn't want to open a case. Would have been written in a book that doesn't belong to her. Yes, that's true. But still, Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. But there has to be another reason why she wasn't on the case. It has to be somewhere in the same area if her gaze has her involuntarily drawn. I agree, that's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed in her gaze direction of the thing. What's this? This is a charming little picture, isn't it? What is it? Someone climbing a steep mountainside? Or descending one? It seems to me. When you've been on a flat surface sea for a while, maybe you start seeing the hills and everything else. Okay. Alright, looks like these are all the same books that we have in our cabin. suppose the steward likes to make sure passengers have plenty to read for a long voyage. And have you not noticed how all the books have fallen over, just like in Cosmo-sama's cabin? It's almost like someone's taking a sweep at them. Maybe Miss Pavlina? She blushes past her about it. Anyway, no, the point is, we don't have time to look through all the books at the moment. We couldn't even if we wanted to. They're all Russian. Well, that's a relief. We'll try to look elsewhere. Let me see the cabin. It's a metal door, the same as Cosmo's cabin. Yes, it is rather some bolt the same way as well. But Miss Pavlova was actually glanced over there at the door instead of the briefcase. That was just a desire to run away from the cabin. Maybe. Okay. These are the rule of passes for travel aboard the SS Bura. Passengers must not keep weapons. Okay, yeah, right now. I'm sure the punishment will be severe, I wrote on. Probably left drifted the freezing cold ocean, or stayed inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? Okay, that's the problem. Hold up, wait, who just texted me? Hold up, y'all give me a second. Someone just texted me real quick. Give me a second. Someone just texted me. Give me a second. Someone just texted me. I'm gonna answer this question real quick. Oh, it's just my friend tell about that. Okay. Alright, there we go. Just text this one person real quick. That's good. Okay, we're good. Okay, I am good, Chad. I am good. I just had to text that one person real quick. Alright, so let me just go out here. Let me explain my... Okay. So, we know it's not the small picture. Books on the shelf. We had the same case. It probably is like the exact same thing. The rules of passage. We did see something move. So, maybe she has a pet. I'm not guaranteed she might have a pet. I'll pick this one first. And then, I don't think she wouldn't look at the door because she wants to escape. That just makes no sense. Because it says... Why won't she open the door or open her case? The only thing that makes sense is that it's maybe the rules of passage. That's what I'm assuming. So we are going to wind it up and...
Yes!
Go for rules of passage. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in the cabins, and pets are strictly forbidden. So unless you have a dangerous weapon there, which the shears way your dangerous weapon, but I mean that's the point. And then you have pets here. Let's talk about it. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from the carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. Yep, it's moving right now. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time. But no weapon, or no other dangerous weapon, would move on its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside your traveling case. You already see them. They doing it together. They like, yeah, we got this comic down back. But is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage, a pet. And that is checkmate. Ching. The case is solved. And deduction is complete. It was elementary. Yes, sir. You already know. Hold on, let me see what this says. If I, sorry, let me, wait, that's not the right way. There we go. So clearly, you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Grimsby Royalette. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. I absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel, which couldn't have been easy. You're a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could she really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. You intended to sever all links to your past by severing your long hair. Get to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. The first recommendation is to leave well alone. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard inside the cabin? That veritable tinkling of the bell? Why, that'd be none other than this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran into Shanghai. I was sure they wouldn't come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disguise myself. So no one would recognize me. You mean disguise? As a result, you transformed yourself into a questionable old man? I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then just before you came in here, I saw the newspaper. Right on the page, there was a picture of me. Yep. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearance completely, they would find me. Which makes sense. I understand. So I decided to cut all my hair as fast as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hands, and in that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do happen like that, from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You're right, it is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say to the crew, your secret is safe with us, I assure you, but in return, you must tell us, as in much detail as you can muster, about the events last night. Yes, alright. I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhoda? Was it something Mr. Sholmes' great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. So, yeah. He knows most of the stuff, it's just the fact that he doesn't have the right conclusive evidence to call it a great deduction. I'm just not entirely sure what, but at least Ms. Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. My... Daggone it! Ah, your hands are cocked again. What? But how? True to my words, I have restored your shackles. When and why? There's still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Haroda. I'm sorry to say, It can't be helped at that moment. Can it? Really? Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I blame this game. I have to find out what the speckled band that Cosmo wrote about in his diary was. Okay, Miss Princess, I need to talk to you about... what happened last night. Alright, did you know that soul was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine. Oh, that's why we were trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example? Perhaps people talking? Perhaps the ship was absorbed with the wildest tempest? Perhaps its steam engine exploded? Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed that if it happened. Miss Pavlova, is there anything you could tell us? I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done, whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me. Oh, I see. Okay, then let me ask, was there anyone in your place? Like, is there anyone that you know other than a dog? You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novich ballets? Okay, I need to take this thing off. Okay, this thing needs to stay off. Okay, good. Yes, I'm traveling to Great Britain, and from there I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life. You wish to forget? A challenging proposition when you have the striking tiara as a reminder. But the tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money on my own. The Novich ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. And I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. That's fair, that's fair. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes, and the crew of the ship, they've all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in this cabin. That is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova. It creates the most intriguing conundrum. Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo? Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. Then we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum? I'm not sure, but... Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. Yawn. Sorry, I yawned. It's not a good time for me with this yawn nonsense. However, the SS Bureau stopped by no port last night. Ah, that's it, of course. So, how is it, pray, that you come to be aboard? Yeah, think about it. The crewman outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. Yeah, because they poured nothing up there. It's just after we asked him about the occupants of this cabin came aboard. They said that's none of my business. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry, what was that? It is how the Russian newspaper described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens because I'm an angel. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. Sholmes once said, I never can resist a touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. I'm on a quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, in fact. Yes, Mr. Showy. Anyway, it doesn't seem like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. Alright. So the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board, according to the rules of passage. Oh, please, don't tell any of the crew. If they find out my precious... Then the burly Russians will bestir themselves in unison to throw you out and your case overboard, no doubt. Ah! So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes. But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy, isn't it? Maybe an adorable little rabbit? Ah, you credit Russians as a land of small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then? You may well ask. I have no idea. Ha! You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding of the natures of the young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken. Really? Considering the benefits, a rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when adversity strikes, it can satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you'd eat your friends. I'll remember that. He said, I'll remember that. I will not want to be eaten around you no more. Okay, that makes sense though. Well, it would appear that this friend's identity is closely guarded, secret that's revealed. He obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. Something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? Yes. And he wrote on it last night before he died. Something unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then, a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m., what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilation grill. A speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. Miss Pavlova, has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? No, I don't know anything. Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Royalette. Yes, what? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once, please. Alright, I'll come now. What? You must leave now. Oh no, it's fine. Don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry yourself. Please, Mr. Roulette. Get out! Just out! Or do you want me to throw you out? It looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin till later. What a pity. This just sucks. And there's no chance. Have still not managed to investigate Miss Pavolina's cabin. We were unceremoniously chased out. That's to say, we were quite. I'm like, hey, if you don't say nothing, we're gonna mention the other thing. So you let us stay. See, I would have been on her head. I'm like, okay. I said, you gonna let us stay, or else what? Do I have to? Do you really want me to say it out loud? I'll say it out loud, and I'll get you. I'll get you kicked out of here. I promise you. I would have been on that case. Like, you would. I said I would. Hey, let me stay here and let me look at the case. If you don't, you're cooked. That's me. I would have just kept it real. To be continued. Oh, brother. This case is just not it. This is ridiculous, Chad. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I mean, we might stop here, but I just want to see what they put me at least. 9th of January, SS Bureau. First class cabin, passageway. I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that. I wish we had managed to find some clues as to what that spectral band might be. We didn't manage to investigate at all. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We won't ever get past that sailor guard garden door. He's clearly glaring at us as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute. We get some evidence out of him. What is it? Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go? Oh yes, he's completely disappeared. When did he do that? He slipped away quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrist. Okay, let me just see what happens if I talk to this guy. I really wish we had a chance to look around. It's probably in his cabin. What? Why do you look like that? You want to say something? Maybe you want me to throw you out again? Oh, no. Definitely not that. And even if then, guess what? If you throw me out, guess what? The supposed killer is going to be gone. Next time I have to throw you out, I will show you where the lobsters spend winter. Understand? Understand. Maybe I should steer clear from him until he's forgotten my face. I don't think he'll ever forget your face, Naruhodo-san. I guess we have to... The book on the top of the shelf was really huge. This pen with the two. Yes, I'm sure that was the ship's log. Yeah. Shall we have a look? Okay, well, I think we read this part before. Okay, I think we read this part. Alright. Alright. Alright, first class, yeah. Alright, we already read this. Alright, we can skip this part because we already read this part. We do not need to read this part again. Okay, I wonder if Inspector Hazanaga managed to uncover any new clues. Yes, we should probably find him and ask. Alright, bet. Okay, January 9th. SS Bureau, first class cabin, number 1. It looks like they're still investigating here. Yes, on that subject, I wonder if Inspector Hasanada is unscathed. What do you mean, unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, haven't you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you. Oh, yes. I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some news information for us. You never know. There we go. He wasn't joking. Ah, you're back. Yeah, I told you. Yeah, he was not joking. He got the dog beat out of him. He got the dog beat out of him. Inspector, what happened to you? Your face is... Please, don't worry about it. They're just scratches. Made by a bear, maybe. When I told you the captain I'd give you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fist and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me off overboard. So it was nothing really. It looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. Well, thanks to your efforts, we know a little about the neighboring captain. Yes, so I understand. Oh? I bumped into a man claiming to be the great detective a while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes. I don't think he was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare the notes then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. Alright, let's go. I guess we're getting some extra evidence down, and there we go. Go there with that, I guess. Oh, Mr. Sholmes was there. Was he? Yes. He seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now that you mention it, yes. Just one thing. But he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said. Shoe polish. I wonder what he meant. It was when I was there by the broke piece of glass. Do you see? Oh, perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark. Do you think? Ah, yes, that must be it. But how would Mr. Sholmes know that is shoe polish? That needs to be code, I'm afraid. I have no idea. Okay, so that shoe polish gotta be something from, like, that dude, that man. Because I don't think she's a criminal. I was gonna say, oh yeah, maybe the person on the left side was maybe a criminal or something, but I don't think it's her, because, like, she's out there worried about another case. What is it, Susanoo-san? Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue. Dark tan? Sort of dark brownish red? Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for him. Oh, does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoe as they scuffed the floor? What? Lena Pavlova? She's in the next cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Oh, please. What self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You better call the call out. You better bleed out these Oops. I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cat is unrelated to the case, at least. Oh, how? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops, now I definitely made him upset. Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So I'm keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job. Oh, I see. Ah, there's one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what? Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please. Alright, hold up. Is it around 7 or 8? Hold on, let me check real quick. There you go. Alright, let me see. Alright, around 7. Okay, so it's around 7. Okay, so it's around 7. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and answer this thing, and then I'm gonna go from there. What information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Bureau's medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh, Kazuma's post-mortem report? Kazuma-sama. So what was the cause of death? Damage to the vehicle vertebrae. This was on the report. His neck was broken? How did they break his neck? Did they use a big weapon or something? Like, dang, how did they break his neck? Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. So at first, I thought they were considering poison. It turns out they found no trace of poison in the system at all. But what weapons was used? Excuse me. Nothing has been found as of yet. But the fact that there is no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object. Something that wouldn't leave a mark. Oh, I see. All the body nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It's a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left. Poor Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never had agreed to letting you leave this cabin in the first place, would I? Ah. The post-mortem report has been entered into the court record. That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I shall return to my post. My fellow crewmate eyes have warned me in the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. For Inspector, you look exhausted. Oh, no. Well, I feel terrible that I failed to protect Osaka-san. It was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friend. The truth is, I seem to have a heavy head ever since I woke up this morning. A heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing, too. Alright, chat, we could stop it here, but yeah, we got a whole bunch of evidence here. So yeah, we could stop it here, actually. So yeah, chat, we are going to stop it here. Thank y'all for showing love on the stream. It's been around like 3 hours. So yeah, I promise 3 hours now. I probably will not be streaming this game maybe till Sunday, maybe-ish. I will say that. Or if not Sunday, I'll probably do it Monday. So yeah, we'll probably do it around one or the other. But yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace and love y'all. Yee.